I think it has. First, there are two things. One is we see the potential of the country in terms of growth. As I said, the development is not only in the existing big towns, but actually the potential development in tier 2, in tier 3 towns is significant. When you see the number of rooms and hotels available in India versus other countries, I always say, India is a country, but we need to look at it as a continent. So when I look to the number of hotel rooms regarding or compared to the population, the growth in India is potential growth is still phenomenal. I felt very optimistic last year, not only because of the dynamic of India as a country, but also on the perspectives, of the growth. I think if any, during the last 12 months, we have been able to sign ahead of expectations. In order to achieve that potential, there is something critical where we are making a lot of progress, that is actually in upskilling people. I think one of the gaps that we still have in India is we need a significant amount of people that is well trained and that wants to stay with us for the future. And actually, we are making significant efforts in India, together with some local organizations also, to make sure that we can recruit people, we can help people deliver their potential and skill them up so they can deliver the level of service we need in the hotels. Actually, India plays a significant role. I mean, as I said, when you look to Radisson, we have 75 hotels in the pipeline. We have signed more than 15 hotels this year. And we have a clear ambition, to have at least, as I said, I discuss always with the teams. They think it's 300 hotels. I think we could have 500, but actually we will see. But I think India for us is a critical market, not only because of the development inside India, and not only in the key towns, but in the second and third tier towns. But actually, it's because when you think about India, it's still shy market in terms of outbound. But when you think about India moving outside India to travel, that will come, then obviously how important it is to have in the mind of the Indian consumer the brands that we operate is extremely important for us. Had possibly the most significant growth in India in the last 10 years. Out of the international companies, definitely the best. And I think when we look to opportunities, we look to grow organically, but first because we think we have a strong potential. But actually, we are very open to look inorganically to the right opportunity in the right market, provided it delivers an extra or an additional benefit to the growth plans that we have and to the strategy of the company. So we are very open. We keep looking. We look to the right opportunities in the right moment. But we are very happy to further invest in India as we have done during the last year. I think what is critical for us is to keep expanding the network in India. I think as consumers start to travel around the country, they are going to look for not only the hotel in my current town, but actually to the towns I travel. I think today you can nearly cross India and you will find a Radisson hotel or a Sarovar hotel in a 3 hours drive. Okay, so if you get a car and you drive 3 hours, you will always find one hotel of ours. But I think we need to further increase that. I think the competitive edge we have is first, I think we are possibly among the international groups, the group that has been present in India for a longer period of time, growing local business. When you look to the story to the history of Radisson, Radisson is a local company. Okay, it started as a local team and keeps being a local company, part of a global group, but it's a local company. When you look to Sarovar, it was created by Mr. Maddock, and it's a local company, and it keeps the spirit of local. And I think that heritage of understanding the Indian consumer, understanding their needs, and adapting, to the high level of demandingness, because I think the Indian consumer, once they start traveling, they are extremely demanding, and I think the ability to understand the local consumer and the ability to deliver the experience they are looking for is one of the critical competitive edge that I think you need to have. It's very difficult to build, and I think one of our competitive edges is I think we are able to understand owners and consumers in a way that is more relevant than other competitors may do. I think obviously owners are going to keep asking us to deliver added value, okay, to their service. And I think on that is very important. We as a group privilege not only the service from a brand point of view, but actually the ability to manage hotels in a more effective way than competitors. I think today there are some variables that are critical. Obviously, you have the system contribution, how much business we bring to owners. That is a critical variable where we are about 50%, nearly 55%. That is very significant. I think the mid-market segment, I think the critical word, I think, is added value, and I think it's dignity. You know, I think when the consumer travels, they want to have a service at the level of the price they pay. And I think some operators confuse, I think, optimization with lack of dignity. And I think one of the critical elements we have is we have very strong standards in all the brands we operate in the mid-segment market. So you can have mattresses, pillows, showers, and services at the right level, so consumers feel that they are getting something better maybe than what they had at home. And I think delivering that kind of service, that when you go to a hotel, even if it's mid-scale, you feel well rewarded for the price you pay, is one of the critical items that has made of Radisson a success in the world, and I think a success in what we have done so far in India. There are two things. One of them has been there for a long time, that is actually the value. Okay? I mean, the consumer is going to keep asking for value. Owners are going to keep asking for added value. Okay, to the what's different from me to manage the hotel than if you manage the hotel for me, or what's different if I use your brand versus another brand. So I think those are going to continue, and I think still the environment is going to keep, even if it's a bit less fashionable during the last times, you know, diversity and environment and everything that is CSR. But I think that's going to keep being something extremely important. Like if you look to the hotel we are in today, okay, we have made a significant effort to make it plastic free, to be nearly, you know, not yet carbon neutral, but almost carbon neutral. We have just launched in Europe two fully carbon neutral hotels as a way to show that it's possible, okay, to make a hotel carbon neutral. And I think that will continue in the future. I think as India grows, there will be also more awareness and of the need of preservation, okay, and of impact in the environment, and then on social also impact. I think those trends will continue, and I think Radisson is well prepared to face those situations. As I said, you know, there are challenges that are exterior and some challenges that are more in our side. I think from an exterior or out of the company challenges, I think it's a big opportunity for India to improve a bit how easy is the process, okay, to get the land for building a hotel. It's also a big area of improvement to get all the permissions, okay, to build a hotel and to align a bit the legislation. As I said, in this continent of India, the regulations and the legislation is very diverse. What makes, you know, to have a growth across the country and to build a hotel. So I think those are, let's say, challenges from an outside point of view. I think from an inside point of view, it is three. Is one, how to keep, as I said, the system contribution, the added value we give to the hotels growing. Second, how do we keep bringing, as we do today, solutions to better operate hotels so the owners can have better results. And I think third is service. I think how do we keep growing talent, and that people in a way that people recognize that when they come to Radisson or they come to Sarovar, it's not only that they find the right hotels and the right artwork, but actually they see the sense of service. Okay, the yes I can attitude of Radisson, the different service levels of Sarovar, so they feel the difference with the people. The trend that has been present in the last 10 years has been personalization. But I think what is different now is I think when you look in the past, personalization was kind of one or two variables. It's like you define the consumer in one way, and then you had to adapt to that one way. I think what is now happening is that personalization becomes multi-personalization. That is, I need to adapt to the different groups that are coming. So it's not only that I need to adapt to one kind of consumer, I need to adapt to maybe 10, 15 changing profiles of consumers that are coming to your hotel because either generations, because of the expectations. So we need to use technology and the empathy ability of the people who work with us to try to adapt the experience to the different profiles that come with very different expectations. In this hotel we are today, you would expect people who, you would have people who expect a very personalized attention, other people that they want to have attention, they want to go to the room and they want to be bothered, other people that may want to be contacted after. So I think we need to adapt to all those kind of behaviors and be able to satisfy such a complex mix of profiles that are getting into the hotels. You know, I always make an exercise with the teams when I have workshops with them on leadership. Out of kind of 20 or 21 different leadership skills you may have, and you have all of them. You know, you have character, charisma, vision, you know, empathy. You have many, but I always say that possibly the one that is the most important one is I phrase it as generosity. And when I say generosity, is not giving things for free. It's just to make sure that you approach topics and you approach subjects with an end in mind that goes beyond the obvious, okay? And that you enable teams not only because of what you want to get, but also what the consumer and the owners may get. So I think out of all the leadership skills, there's a book of Maxwell that has 21, but actually out of those 21, I always choose generosity as the one that is key. On leadership, as you say, there are books, okay, written on leadership, but I kept one definition of an ex-president of the US, Quincy Jones, that says more or less like, if the team or the people who work for you want to do more, want to dream more, and want to deliver more, you are a good leader. And at the end is, I mean, we are a company, as you said, with 1,500 hotels in Radisson, to 2,000 in Louvre. This is more than 150,000 people. It's only through the impact you have on people that the company gets the results. And it's the impact I have on my teams, directly to teams, and then the impact that all of them have in their own teams, is the impact that the GM has in the team in the hotel. That is what makes us deliver. If we don't have that, if there is no impact, so it's not what we say, it's not how we say it, is what is the impact of what you do in the people's minds that makes them, when they leave you or when they are not with you any longer, what is the impact that you have had in the behavior they do. And if that impact is positive, then the results will come. I would say those 7 beliefs are critical, and I think when you look to those 7 beliefs, I think the one that is more clear is we have fun in what we do. I think in this business, this is a 24/7 business. If you're in a hotel, you cannot say I'm not available. Okay, you need to be available 24/7. So we need to feel that we are delivering something, and that is, you know, we build memorable moments for the consumer. So you need to like that, and you need to have fun in doing it. If you don't have fun, there is no way you will work 24/7. And I think again, it's like out of those 7 beliefs, I would say the fact that we build memorable moments and that we have fun are the 2 ones that need to work together. I always say that when you work with different cultures, 80% of the issues that come across is communication. So many times it looks like you are in disagreement, or you may have a reaction to someone saying maybe he's not a good leader or she's not a good leader. And actually it's not what the person is doing, it's how the person is expressing. And I think part of the learnings I have had in my career is maybe I misjudge some people sometimes because how they communicated. And then you learn later that, well, maybe the how was not perfect, but the what was very important. And I think that helps you understand that the difference in communications, the difference in culture, you need to try to make an effort to fully understand them, to really make sure that you fully leverage the talent of people and that you don't waste great talent. I would say, I mean, if you ask me names, Paul Polman, for example, who became the head of Unilever, good friend. He was my marketing director, then the president of Europe. Then I have kept in relationship with him. He really showed me, okay, many of the leadership skills I taught. Then you have Carl Holtz, who was the former president of Disney Cruise Line, also a mentor and a good friend, and a person who inspired me many times. I have many more, but I think those two would be two clear examples of leaders that I learned that most of the things I do is because someone did those with me, and then you see the impact of those things, and then you try to replicate that. Well, I always say, when we talk in the company about this, I always say, I'm a firm believer that we all have a gift, and you may not know which one is yours. So try to find it, because if you work in something where you have a gift, you have fun, you do it well, and you don't make an effort. So I think try to find the gift, and then, if possible, spend your time on that. Try to make sure that you do it in the right place. And what does the right place means is places where you have people who are smarter than you, people who want to build talent, people who want you to grow, and so it's places that really value people. If you can, we can not always choose, okay, it's not always possible to do it, but if you can, then try to find the place and find the people that will help you grow.